I recently rode on a train from Kazan to St. Petersburg. I took a ticket to a reserved seat, departure around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The train is branded Volga region is called, but it is strange that there were reserved cars in the train at all. It seems like they shouldn't be on branded trains. It was clean and tidy inside, and the conductor was friendly. I don't remember the last time I went to the lower shelf at all, but when I bought a ticket, for some reason the prices were the same for the lower shelf and the upper one. Out of interest, I looked back then, the same thing in the compartment or not. No, it turned out that the prices in the compartment are still different. To be honest, I didn't understand what kind of trick it was. You'll understand why I'm talking about this later. The car was full. It was a train from Friday to Saturday. I got on the train while no one was in my compartment, put my things away, and stuck my head into my phone. Then a woman in her 50s came in and said she had a seat on top of me. But she sat on my shelf for now. I was generally okay with it. And in general, somehow I didn't even pay attention to her. The train started moving, and for a while the two of us sat on the bottom shelf. Then I had a bite to eat, went out the window and looked at the post-sunset sky. Then this ant went somewhere. And, by the way, our neighbors in the reserved compartment were an elderly couple who were quietly chatting with each other, also sitting together on the bottom shelf. Overall, between the four of us, the conversation went no further than where and why you're going. By the way, an interesting detail is that both of them, in this elderly couple, were already closer to 70, but Grandma rode from below, and Grandpa climbed onto the top shelf relatively easily. Anyway, I ate and sat, and I wanted to lie down and stretch my legs. I tell my companion, they say, I already want to lie down. But you're bothering me a little, he said, of course, more politely. And then the woman turns to me and had the opportunity to take a closer look at her, a full body, and the face of a typical boor. But for now, she was polite. Young man, he says, please give me the bottom shelf. It's hard for me to climb up. My back is sore. And it's just right for you at the top. You're young. Here I was a little taken aback. Still, for the first time, count the food on the bottom shelf, how many trains I rode. No one was forced to give up their place from below. I'm sorry, but I have a lower ticket. I paid extra on purpose because it costs more. Here, yes, I lied a little. We recall that the tickets actually cost the same. But I had to motivate my decision with something, and the issue of money is crucial for many. She didn't immediately take offense, but apparently she didn't buy the ticket herself because she didn't know that the cost of a seat, what's on top, what's on the bottom, is the same. Come on, honey. What kind of money is there? He's young and healthy, but I can barely walk. Is it a pity? You can still lie down upstairs. Here our traveling companion, who is already a grandmother closer to 70 years old, says, listen, if you control your diet, you will walk wall and climb on the top shelf. My husband is 20 years older than you, and look how he takes off to the top shelf. Grandpa grinned slightly from above, and I started smiling at the beginning of this sentence, foreshadowing the reaction. However, the woman replied sharply, and it's none of your business how I live. At the same time, she continued to talk to me politely and once again asked me to give up the bottom shelf. I've already thought, okay, I don't have any more arguments anyway. After all, I've always been on the top shelves. And to be honest, I bought into her politeness towards me, even though she was clearly very annoyed after the remark from my grandmother. Anyway, we swapped shelves. I made a bed for myself upstairs. She didn't make one for herself right away. It's been a while. I'm lying upstairs. I wanted to eat more. I take pancakes from the supermarket out of my backpack, a bottle of water, and go downstairs. I'm telling this woman, I want to eat here before going to bed. Will I sit down with you for a while? Well, there is no trace of the former politeness left. She pursed her lips, looked at me as if I had just invaded her personal domain. and replied coldly, "No, you don't have to sit down. This is my shelf now." Naturally, it took me a moment to realize what I had heard. "You mean yours?" I'm asking. "We just switched. I gave in to you." She didn't even blink. "Well, we conceded. The place is mine now. And you're upstairs." I tried to explain calmly once more. "Listen, I literally have to eat for 10 minutes. Not on a blanket, not with dirty shoes. I'll just sit on the edge. You haven't even made your own bed yet." The woman waved her hand as if she were an annoying fly. "Everyone has their own regiment, young man. If you want to eat, eat upstairs. No one forced you to change." I stopped talking. There's just some kind of hellish rage inside. I have never met such arrogant passengers. No, just so you understand, I could easily have sat down to eat with that grandmother. I could have sat on top, but I decided that this situation should not be left like this. At the same moment, the grandmother, the one from the lower neighboring shelf, could not stand it. "Woman, do you have a conscience? The men gave in to you, and now you're in charge. Maybe my husband and I should even go to the vestibule for the night." But she just shrugged her shoulders. The rules are the same for everyone. Everyone has their own place. Then I couldn't stand it anymore and followed the guide. There was a young girl, about 30 years old, standing in the staff compartment. I explained the situation. She listened calmly and came with me. We approach. The conductor looks at the woman and says, "Good evening. Please tell me your first and last name." She told her. She already found out my details, so she took a quick look at her mini computer and said, "So, you have the lowest ticket," she said calmly, turning to me. "And you," to the woman, "have the upper one." The woman flushed. "Yes," he agreed. "I didn't force you." The conductor is unperturbed. Consent is one thing, but a ticket is another. If you have swapped shelves, this is a personal arrangement. But now you're preventing the passenger from using his seat, which he paid for. This is a violation. "So what now? Do I have to climb up?" The woman flared up. "Exactly," the guide replied calmly. "Or we call the train chief." At these words, the grandmother from the next shelf burst out laughing. The grandfather from above grinned, and the woman, realizing that it was useless to argue further, began to pack her things. "The young people are getting impudent," she muttered, going upstairs. No respect for elders. When she finally climbed in, the carriage seemed to exhale. I sat down, calmly finished my pancakes, and the conductor, passing by, said quietly, "Next time, do not rush to give in. Otherwise we have such sore backs on every flight, a carriage and a small cart."